Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, January 11th. Welcome. And last Sunday, we celebrated the Feast of the Epiphany, which was a wonderful feast. And then on Monday, the Feast of the Baptism of the Lord, and that ended the Christmas season. So now we find ourselves in what the church calls ordinary time. If you look closely at the church's calendar, we have a lot of different seasons. Like we went through the time of Advent and getting ourselves ready for Christmas, and then we have the Christmas season, then we enter into Lent, and then we get ready for Easter and the Easter season. But if you look closely at the church's calendar, most of it is made up of ordinary time. And isn't that the way our lives are? Most of our lives are made up of ordinary time. I mean, we have celebrations, we have the birthdays and the graduations, the anniversaries, and all those things we celebrate, and we should, but most of life is quite ordinary. And what God is calling us to do is to live ordinary life in an extraordinary way, to bring His extraordinary graces into our ordinary lives. And what I mean by that is, like just looking at nature, you look at a beautiful flower and say, oh, there's an ordinary flower, but to really appreciate the incredible gift of a flower. Or a child, you see a small child, you go, oh, there's a kid over there. But wait a minute, that's an extraordinary gift, that child. I remember Father Anthony DeMello saying, if you look at a tree and you see a tree, you haven't seen the tree. But if you look at a tree and see a miracle, you've seen the tree. You and I need to see the everyday miracles in so-called ordinary life because they're all around us and we just kind of take it for granted. It's an incredible miracle that any one of us are just alive and breathing and walking on this earth. We should marvel and never get over the marvel every minute of every day of just simply being alive and having this gift of being that God has given to us. What incredible gifts God has given to us. And we look at it like, that's ordinary. Nothing's ordinary. Everything in its own way is quite extraordinary. And then you come into church and we have ordinary gifts of bread and wine that will be transformed into the body and blood of Jesus Christ, our God. That our God would become really and truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity right there before us. You talk about an incredible miracle. And that's one of the reasons we need to come back to church now. And it's wonderful we have these ways of remote learning, and we have the remote liturgies on TV, on YouTube. That's all good, especially for those who can't get around. But if you're getting around now, it's time to come back to Mass. It's really important for us to be present right there and receive Jesus' body and His blood. Not just look at it on TV, but receive Him in our very selves. These ordinary bodies made extraordinary through the grace and presence of Christ. I'd like to suggest this next week that we take a look at the quote-unquote ordinary things around us and see the extraordinary miracle that God has placed there through these ordinary things. And if something seems quite ordinary to you, bring God's extraordinary grace into that situation. The truth is, nothing's ordinary. Everything is a miracle. God bless you.